Got our stream here. I'll tell them that they can start. So yeah, I just recently got some got like new headphones. I haven't streamed in a while. I'll tell them that they can start. Oh. Okay, so yeah, this is mainly going to be commentary. I would stream my own war duels, but of course, I don't want my opponent to watch the stream and see my hand. So yeah, CuStOm opens with a Delinquent Duo, pretty standard play. I don't know why Matt isn't discarding two. Okay, yeah, he's thinking about the second card. And let me get some sick music started up for us too. Twitch is like pretty anal about copyright, so I went ahead and just made my own track. That way Twitch won't mute it. And not a professional music artist exactly, but it'll do. So I like this play here from Nat. The nice thing about the MST is if like Goats gets chained or something, you know, he's fine obviously because he has Air Knight. And I'm pretty sure CuStOm is on some sort of aggro list. I don't think he plays Berserk Gorilla though, so Matt's he's in pretty alright position considering he got duo turn 1. Let me turn down my music volume a bit. I don't exactly know how loud things are. And I'm gonna bring up the chat. Due to the way I have things set up, I can't view the chat on my computer, but I can view it on my phone. I don't know. Of course, I'm kind of missing what's happening because I'm like trying to pay attention to the chat. Alright, we don't have any messages yet. Okay. Of course I'm like missing what's happening because I'm like busy fiddling with things. But graceful, discarding Goats. I mean, it doesn't seem like the most insane graceful for value. But I guess he doesn't. Man, and he discarded Torrential. He must have a very strong hand if he's discarding Torrential. And surely enough, he's got meta. Yeah, I don't hate this meta play. He doesn't get to push. Given the discards, I think there's a decent chance he has Tsukiyomi, in which case it's a really good meta play. But even if he just, you know, has to draw a pass for a few turns, I still like it. And CuStOm actually has Tsukiyomi. So I guess CuStOm is playing a little different list than the one I saw before. You know, I warred him a couple of times. He's playing like some sort of Chaos aggro deck with like Skilled Dark Magician. But that doesn't look like what he's on now. And I like that Reaper forcing the Mirror Force there. You know, that's one power card that we know we've got out of the way. And a Pot Greed, that's pretty good. So yeah, I'd say Matt's definitely ahead. Yeah, he's up on cards, he's up on life. He's got cross out for the face down. Huh. And he set Tsukiyomi. I don't know what that indicates exactly. If he did it because he has 2 Tsukiyomis, or if he did it because he wanted to tribute it for an Air Knight, or what exactly. So far this has been, you know, a pretty like ABC game of Goats. Nothing, you know, no like insanely complicated plays. I will say that I think there's a good chance this faced out as a second Tsukiyomi though. Of course, another reason he might have set Tsukiyomi is to bait cross out. That's also possible. Like maybe now this is like a Magician of Faith or something, and he set the Tsukiyomi to bait cross out. That'd be like a pretty next level play, which I don't know. I wouldn't expect from this guy, but who knows? Yeah, okay. So I was right that it's the second Tsukiyomi. I mean, when you've got multiple copies of Tsukiyomi, the second's redundant. Using one to bait a cross out is like a pretty standard play. And he flipped the Sengen down, so the Tsukiyomi returns. Oh, now CuStOm's got a pot of greed, so they're both sort of taking turns trying to claw their way back into the game. CuStOm's got breaker. He rings pretty good there. Wouldn't be. I'm just gonna tell him that. Yeah. Yeah. So. Huh. That's an interesting and he set Metamorphosis. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm guessing Matt's got something pretty big. Well, I mean, yeah, that's definitely pretty good. If he had a really hard read, he could have even faced for premature on Air Knight, try to get in 19, because you know we know Mirror Force is gone. Oh, and he conceded. So, yeah, that'll do it, I guess. We didn't see any goats from CuStOm that entire game, I think. I'm not even sure if I would have heavied there, frankly. But it obviously worked out. Oh yeah, he could have trenched the breaker. Yeah, and I still don't see any chatters. Admittedly, streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't get a whole lot of views. I think streaming Magic tends to get more. Yeah, I mean, like, as far as that goes, it depends on, like, how the chain is going there exactly. It's one of those things where, like, you know, neither person really declared at what time they were activating specific things. I mean, well, because, yeah, the breaker did get the counter, so it was at 19. That would be after the summon resolved. That's kind of awkward. But of course, the other reason streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't get a whole lot of views is if anyone wanted to watch it without my commentary, they could just go join their game and they would not need access to my stream. What I really need is like dual monitors or something. That way you can have like the game in one monitor and the chat in the other. Alright, so CuStOm's opening a setback or on a pass. Nothing much to say about that. That's, you know, pretty standard play. It looks like I got a total of 1 viewers now, but I did bring up the chat room on my phone. So yeah, just some setting of spells and traps. So what could this be? Yeah, I mean, it's likely not Sanguine or Sinister, so that Exile will work out pretty well. Oh, getting tricky with the Faith. It's good that Matt had it with the Exile. You know, who knows if he was trying to set up, like, a Faith into duo play or something along those lines. But I do like Exile in this format a fair bit. You know, I don't play it right now, not because I think the card's bad, but just because, you know, usually whatever I'm putting in instead I feels better. But when I did play Exiled, I have to stream with a shirt on or Twitch may shut you down. I hope that's not true. I'm already, you know, playing my own music because I know that, you know, Twitch will shut me down if I play someone else's. I mean, knowing, like, how ridiculous Twitch is about everything, they probably would shut me down for streaming without a shirt on. So yeah, he had Sinister for the duo, and it looked like I was right. He was trying to set up Faith duo. Man, I'm just a master today. All the hard reads. I mean, that's just, you know, kind of obvious. Like, setting up Faith double duo is kind of what I call, like, a good bad play. Like, super bad players won't do that, but I think it's like people think it's better than it really is. It's kind of like Pro Storm. Like 90% of the time, Pro Storm just doesn't work, and you shouldn't be doing it. And you know, the duo Faith thing is like it's kind of the same. Like I have never gotten double duo Faiths, and I think I've like only done it to someone like once or twice. Ooh, and there's the rest of the Faiths. But this is I like these kinds of games. You know, people got 8 cards each. You know, it's not like they have 15 cards each, but it's not like they have 3 cards each either. It's kind of like nice in the middle. I know it's kind of like silly to say, like, Alan, why are you like saying that? Yeah, obviously. It's just interesting because it gives people enough cards they have decisions, but not like so many cards that you just have to play around like 10 power cards at once. Like I don't like those games where my opponent has like 6 cards in hand and like 3 back rows, 2 monsters. Then it's like you just have to play around like, you know, every card in the format. But these are interesting, so you have to figure out what specifically you want to play around, because you want to play around some things, but it's not like you're going to assume your opponent has, like, Snatch Heavy and BLS because, you know, you're super deep in the deck. So it's interesting here that Matt obviously has Sinister. I don't know if he returned it. I wasn't paying attention when the Sinister went to the grave. I think he returned it to his hand. But he goats the DD Warrior Lady when he was at 8,000 and netted a goat, and then didn't even like use his set afterwards. So I think that's like a mistake. I probably would have taken the DD Warrior Lady hit and then meted Sinister. Because it's one thing if you're like thinking, okay, well, I'd rather meta a goat so that way if my TER gets Saku'd, I can like main phase 2 set like a Morphing Jar or something. I don't know. But he didn't even have like another summon for the turn. Which makes me not really like that play. And then he did get Sinister back last time like I thought, and now he's getting it back again. Matt, he remembers Sinister less than I do. I'd say he remembers Sinister about the average amount. Like, I remember Sinister like 95% of the time. I think he remembers a little less than that. He remembers like 75% of the time. Of course, once you're returning Sinister, you know, 5 turns in a row, it's pretty easy to remember the 6th time. But I've had people who will forget the first time and then not realize it until like 6 turns later. What is going on here? Alright, enough of this. So he's Tsukiyomiing the TER. I don't think CuStOm's used Torrential yet. If he had Torrential, I would use it. And I guess this indicates he does not have Torrential. Doesn't have like Saku for the Tsukiyomi either. He's already used one Saku. So you know, I like Matt's position a lot here. His opponent doesn't seem to be able to stop the lock. He's got 3 back rows, more than likely to protect the lock himself. Yeah, and like I think Matt plays 1 Saku, I think. So yeah, I mean, Book works here too. Would be kind of a blowout if CuStOm had like Call for something to like still kill the TER. Ooh, and he's got Ring. I don't think he remembered his Sinister this time. Oh, he sided in Suzuki Samurai. I can't convince him that Mystic level 2 is better. He says he values the 800 defense more than the 900 attack. I also don't think I would have sided it in against this particular player. I don't know. He just seems to be playing like a pretty standard GOAT list. Like, I don't side cards like this against standard GOAT lists, because against standard GOAT lists, you shouldn't be siding in anything. Those cards should all be main decked. You should be maining for the mirror. You know, against like a really flip-flop heavy deck, I would side in a card like Suzuki Samurai, but that's not what our opponent's on, so I disagree with siding in the Suzuki Samurai. And he's saying you were right, haha, which I think means maybe I was right about Mystic level 2 being better. Yeah, because he's made some like weird arguments in favor of Suzuki Samurai. Like, oh, if I have my Suzuki Samurai attack into a Faith, and they like book my Suzuki Samurai, then Faith can't run it over. Whereas with Mystic level 2, they can just run it over if they book it. Which, you know, it's true, but, you know, my argument, which, you know, I've iterated to him multiple times, is that, you know, sure, if they, like, book your guy, you want it to have more than 0 defense, but if they don't book your guy and they let the hit through, then often they just don't set monsters and they just take the hit every turn. And I'd rather be poking for 900 a turn than poking for 500 a turn. Like, if Suzuki Samurai had, like, 800 attack and 800 defense, then I would say, you know what, I agree it's better, because the difference in attack is basically negligible. But the difference between 500 and 900 is not negligible at all. That's a very significant difference, in my opinion. And, you know, most people are on my side of the argument, so I'm sure I don't have to convince many of my viewers. But, you know, it's just interesting difference in opinions. You know, Matt, he is a very good GOAT player, and yet he insists that Suzuki Samurai is better. You know, sometimes people just have different preferences. Like, I know Chris Perovic, he likes Morphing Jar a lot better than most players. And, you know, there's some people who, you know, have different preferences on, like, Dust Tornado versus Sakuretsu. I see some people running 2 Sakuretsus, 0 Dust Tornadoes, other 1-1, others 2-1, others 2-2. And, like, a lot of those things, you know, are just preference. So I like this BLS here for Matt. You know, it's a very early, you know, BLS. Matt's got a ton of cards. I'm sure he can deal with it. And, you know, he's still at plenty of life. Now, if, you know, CuStOm has BLS and, like, Call or Premature, that's one thing. You know, because dealing with 1 BLS, not super difficult. Dealing with 2 or 3 BLSs, that can be tricky. And this Creature Swap resolves. Creature Swap, I will say, you know, I hate to give it away, but that is a secret tech of mine. I've been absolutely wrecking people with Tech Creature Swap. Just one. And it looks like that earns the concession. Creature Swap gets in there. So, you know, I don't know if Matt was playing my exact list or not. I don't think he was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already saw one card that I don't play. But that goes to show the power of the creature swap. So I guess I'll interact with my chat a bit, you know, now that the match is over. I have never played with Jargreed and Goats. I don't see why you'd want to. And then Matt just thanked me for my win there. Yeah, I don't, like, sure, I get that, like, it's good for mind games or whatever. You can try to, like, get people to, like, 2-for-1 heavy you, and you're like, oh, chain Jargreed. But if you just kind of want to run, like, a random chainable like that, I just play Time Seal instead. Just because, like, Time Seal can absolutely blow people out. Like, whether, you know, when they're top decking. Like, if, you know, they have, like, no cards. Or, you know, if they don't have many cards, like, they have 3 cards in hand, and they just draw and pass, and then you Time Seal them, it's a time walk. And, like, it does the same thing that Jargreed does as far as chain ability. Plus, you can just tech a random Mask of Darkness in your deck, and you just have a win con that you'll get every 1 in 100 games. So, and, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should all go run Time Seal. I'm just saying I think it's better than Jargreed. That's really all. But, yeah, I don't know. These 2 games were, like, kind of short. You know, I was, you know, nothing super exciting. I mean, the creature swap per game was pretty awesome. But other than that, you know, mostly ABC Goats. But hopefully, like, from this stream, you guys can, like, I don't know, get some of my thought process of, like, you know, how I think, you know, what I'm reading. Like, you know, how Matt exiled Force the Faith, and I figured, okay, his opponent probably has Duo in hand. You know, things like that. Like, part of it's just, like, what kind of player I'm putting people on. You know, I know, like, CuStOm's not awful, but he's not, like, super good either. So, yeah, hopefully, I'll be able to stream again sometime. This is, like, 35-minute stream. Because, you know, it is summer. I don't have classes. So, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed it, you know. Follow me, etc. I will try to stream Goats more, and just past format in general. I'm not going to stream any Necros Mirrors. Sorry, guys. But, peace out.